this is Urvashi, and in today's video I'm going to design a mental health app. And for that, in today's video I'm going to design two screens, which is home page and onboarding screen. And in my next video I will design the further screens for this particular app concept. So without any further delay, let's get started. So as you can see, I have already collected these assets from free pick, and also I have some icons ready with me as well, and the color palette I'll be using for this application. So I will leave the link for these illustrations in the description. So without any further delay, let's get started. So I'm going to create the frame first of all, and I will take the size of 13 mm because it's the standard size for any iOS device. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some layout grid because it will help me to align the content in the design better. So I will take the columns as white and margin as 24 with gutter as 16. So those of you who don't know about this, I will tell you what is margin. Margin is this right and left padding, as you can see here, and gutter is the padding in between the columns. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the onboarding screen. So you can follow along if you want to understand it better. So I will just pick any of these illustrations from here and put it on this particular frame. Okay, so let's just begin with this. I will add this one with the background. Just a second. I will just duplicate it by holding Alt key, and I will just decrease the size of this a bit and align it in the center. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just creating the very simple looking onboarding screen, nothing fancy. So here I'm going to just add some corner radius to this particular illustrations, like 20, maybe 20 is fine. And now I'm going to add the CTA here. Then I will add the heading and subtext here. So first of all, I will create this. Okay, and I will take the font as a Ubuntu and decrease the size of this to 24, and I will add the auto layout to this text to create a CTA. So when you add the auto layout to any text to create a CTA, it's become easier because when you decrease any content in the inside of that CTA, the CTA will resize by itself. So it's a great way to create a CTA by adding the auto layout. So I will add the auto layout by clicking Shift+A, and now I will just adjust the right and left padding and the vertical padding. Okay, so I will just change the font. I guess I will change it to maybe Monroe. Yeah, it's fine. Now I will give the horizontal and vertical padding. So there is a one way to do it. You can assign the different values to it, or you can just drag it. When you drag this one like this, it will not change. It will the size of this button will not change if you increase or decrease the content inside of it, because it will change it to fixed width. So if you don't want that, you can just assign the values to this particular CTA, like I'll do now. 36. Okay, I will assign 72. I will make a elongated CTA that will cover all of these columns. Okay, so 96 is fine. Yeah. So I will add some color to this CTA as well. I have already created this color palette for this particular app, and now I will change the color of this text and also the size like this, and also I will give some vertical padding to this button and align it in between. Hundred is fine, 100 is less, I think. 108 padding is fine, I guess. 104, let's try 104. Yeah. So that's how you can create CTAs very easily. And now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to add some corner radius to this particular button. 12 is fine. We can customize it later. I have created the layout. I can add some of the other things as well here. I will add the heading and I will use a different text for the heading. I'm just adding the placeholder as of now. I will change it later. This font I have downloaded this particular font, so you can also do that, and I will assign some width the subtext, and I will assign some size to it, and also will change it to Monroe. Okay, I will change it later, and I will just do one thing. I will add the auto layout to this one so that it will be easier for me to change the content inside of this particular auto layout. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I will create the home page. Okay, so just a second, I will just add the skip button here so that it will be easier for the user to skip this part if they don't want to do it as of now. And I will decrease the size of it a bit, and I will change the color of this particular button to something gray. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I am going to just drag this down a bit like this. So I will just finalize this particular screen later. First of all, let's just head to the home page, and I have already created a sketch on my iPad so that it will be easier for me to create the layout of that screen. So I will show you that in a minute. I have added this image that I have drawn on my iPad for the wireframe of this particular app. So I have created two different wireframes, which is onboarding and homepage. Onboarding I have created it here, and I will create the next one, homepage. So first of all, I will just copy this particular or duplicate this screen by holding Option key or Alt key and plus Shift, so that it will be in the straight line like this, and I will create the home page now. And for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first create these sections, then I will focus on this particular top section, which is logo and two different icons. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the navigation bar for this particular home page. I will draw a frame for the navigation bar, and for the time being and for my guidance I will add some stroke. Okay, now I will take the icons from here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to duplicate this by holding Alt or Option key. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick these instances where and duplicate them and place them where I wanted them to be. And here you can see I have added only 4 different options on navigation bar. So what I'm going to do is I am going to reduce the columns to 4 columns like this for this screen only. So I'm going to just drag them by holding Alt or Option key, and I will add some color to them so that it will be easier for the user to identify the active and inactive buttons. All of these icons side by side, and by holding Alt or the Option key, whichever is suitable for you, because I am using Mac, so I use Option key, and if you are using Windows laptop or Windows laptop, so you can use the Alt key for that. So I will assign different colors because this is the active one and these are the inactive ones. So I will assign some grayish color to these options so that it will be easier for the user to distinguish between them. Okay, so I am adding different icons here. Okay, and I will assign the same colors to the inactive icons like this, and okay, now what I am going to do is I am going to add some color to this particular active button because I am not going to keep it black. I am going to add a different color like this one. Okay, it's not that visible, but I'm not going to keep it black. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of them by holding shift key, and I will apply the auto layout. You can click on this plus button or you can use the shortcut as shift plus A so that it will they are aligned in the straight line. Okay, and now I will align them in the center and in the middle. Okay, so that's how I have created this particular navigation bar. I'm not going to do anything more to this. I'm going to add some drop shadow to this one, and I will decrease the opacity to 3% with the blur of 10 to 15 maybe. This is fine so that the navigation bar is distinguishable for the user when they are using our app. Okay, I'm going to add the name of this app on the top, and first of all I will select the heading font that I'll be using. For that I'll be using Maharika font. Maharlika, I don't know how to pronunciate it, but I will add the link for this font in the description for you if you want to download it. So yeah, okay. I will keep the distance from the top as 56. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of the joy here and make it to something maybe maroon. Okay, it's not really recognizable, but I wanted to add some color to this. Okay, this is fine, and I will increase the size of this font a bit. 18 or maybe 20 is fine. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the notification icon at the top with the logo. Okay, I will align them both horizontally, and I will select both of them, and then I will add the auto layout. I do this for my every design because then it looks very much aligned and clean. That's why I use this option very frequently, and I will just decrease the size of this particular icon to 22 and decrease the stroke of it because it looks really harsh. I will make it to 1.2, maybe 1, like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a circle to denote a notification, a new notification, and I will add the color as green. Okay, like this. I will add the color as green here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a section where users can enter their mood. Okay, so I will give it a name as a how are you feeling today. Okay, I will decrease the size of this heading to maybe 16, and now I will add the section here where users can add their mood and how they are feeling today. Okay, I will add only 3 different moods here. I will give it a color to something pink, light pink is fine, like this, and I will add some corner radius to this as well and decrease the size of it a bit. If you want to decrease the opacity of these colors, you can do that, it's good as well. So I will add the emoji to these to this particular section. Let's see how it looks. I will add the color as a dark blue that I am using as a primary one. So here we can add the different modes for the user to add, and I will increase the size of these emojis so that they'll look a bit prominent on this particular section. Or we can do one thing, we can use emojis, phone emojis, iPhone emojis. That also work well in this kind of concept. So let me bring some of those emojis, and I will pause this video a bit and I will search for them and add them here, because those emojis will give a nice effect to this particular section, and user will like that more, because users sometimes prefer visuals, because if any app has a great visuals, then it has a great user experience in comparison to the one that has standard design. So this is the principle that I have always remembered, because UX is also important, I know that, but sometimes visuals play a great role to enhance the user experience of the entire product. Okay, so I will just get all of these emojis here, and I will start recording them. These emojis from free pictures now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of this section a bit, because it looks really dark. Okay, so I have added the light color for this particular section, and I will add the emoji one by one. Okay, so I guess it's not grouped, so I will group them. I will add them one by one here. Okay, like this, and yeah, they are not grouped, so I'm grouping them by holding shift key and selecting all of these layers. Okay, like this, and I'm copying them, I'm duplicating these emojis by holding option key. Okay, I'm repeating again and again. If you get confused, that's why. Okay, like this I am adding different emojis here for different moods. Okay, and you can group these emojis by clicking Command plus G. I will keep the size of all of them same. I will align them in a straight line. Like this, you can group them. I don't know why this is happening. Okay, so like this, I have added 5 different modes to this particular section, and users can choose from them according to their mood and how they are feeling or at the time. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to auto layout all of them so that they are in a straight line. Okay, now I will select all of them by holding shift, and now I will add the auto layout by clicking shift plus A. Okay, now they are in a straight line. So from here users can track their moods on any particular day on a time. So yeah, I hope it looks good. So I will decrease the opacity of the color in the background to 50%, I guess. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the next section, which is today's activity. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a section where there is all the information about the that day activity, any particular day activity that user has to do. Okay, so it can be anything. It can be a breathing exercise, it can be a meditation or yoga. So I will add something random here. So I'm not using any images. I will use only illustrations for this particular app because sometimes illustration did enhance the visuals of any application because they look good. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some visuals, some illustration to this particular section. So first of all, I will add some stroke for a time being so that the lines can guide me while I am adding the content inside of this particular section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select any of them. I'm going to select this one. Okay. No, this one is fine. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, oh, my bad. Now I'm going to decrease the size of this particular photo and I will add this inside of this frame. Okay. You can adjust the size of the frame like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the details of the activity in this section. So I will add the meditation, like user has to do the meditation today for this duration, like that. Okay, or maybe I can add a title like a guide to the meditation for beginners or something like that. So just a second. I will add the line like this: letting go of stress, 10-minute guided meditation, something like that. Okay, you can choose your own lines for this particular section if you want to, or you can use the same ones like I'm using it, because I'm designing this just for the learning purposes, so you can take my lines as well. 24 is large. I will use 18 as a font size of the heading. Now what I'm going to do is, it's large. Just follow along with me. This font has only one font weight, so I can't change it. I will do one thing. 10-minute guided meditation, and I will decrease the size a bit to 12 and change the font to Monroe that I am using for the body font. Like this. This is fine, I guess. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign some corner radius to this one as well, and I will assign the stroke as well, very light stroke, and some shadow as well, because it will make the card more attractive when you add some shadow to it. Not much, less shadow will work fine for this. And just a second, I will just increase the blur, and also I will change the size, change the color of this stroke maybe. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some details here, or maybe, yeah, or there is one more thing I can do here. I can add the details. Add a different illustration for this particular section. I have already downloaded this one. Okay, I will place it there, and also I have added some description for this particular activity that user will be doing for that day. Okay, so like this, I will add the illustration here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I will change this body font because it's not looking good. I will use something else. This one. I will use Satoshi for the body font. It's better than that one. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift this one. I'm going to decrease this body text. Now I will give a CTA to play this music. Okay, so for that I will take this one and decrease the size of this particular CTA to something else, and this I don't want the button to be really prominent, because sometimes when we create a button that looks really catchy, then all the focus will go on that button. It will not go on this particular section. So that's why I will try to create a button that will not look very prominent. Okay. So I will add some stroke to this one, and I will remove the color and add the color to the font as well. Okay. Now I will just decrease the size of this to 16 and 12 and this to 14. Okay. Now I will add the CTA here, and for more emphasis, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the icon beside this text, play icon. Or I will just remove the stroke and place it here like this, and I will name it as a play now. Okay. I don't know how it looks, but yeah. Okay. So we can also create a clickable card. You don't have to give them this CTA always. So it's the other way to do it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a play button beside this text. This one. Okay. And I will change the color of this icon to this one and change the size as well. With the change the stroke. Now I will just change the distance between them or padding between them. Okay, like this we can create it. And also okay, this is fine, this is good. Okay, this looks not really prominent, but it really catches the attention of the user. Yeah. So now there is one more section that I will create here, which is recommended articles, like articles related to mental health. So for that, what I'm going to do is, first of all, I will just increase the size of these headings. You can follow along with me. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new one, which is a recommended articles section. So here there will be articles related to mental health and how you can cope with them. So it will be very easier to create that card. I will create a different kind of card for this particular section, a different one from this particular section, which is today's activity. So let's create it. Decrease the size of this section, this card, and increase it a bit, or maybe decrease it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the image. Like this. So I will add the image like this. Or I will use the same background as this one. I will use this one only. And increase the size a bit. Now I will place this image here. For replacing the images, you can use Command plus Option plus Shift plus V. That's how you can replace the images. This is a shortcut that I use frequently. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the heading for this particular article, like understanding anxiety disorders. For the content, you can use ChatGPT. Now I will add some subtext to it. I have already created these topics for my cards, so that will be easier for me. So from here you can copy the text and paste it there, or you can don't use Lorem Ipsum text when you are creating any design, because it doesn't look good. Always use real content. So here there is a problem. So I will shift them outside and I will increase the size because the illustration is getting stressed because of it. Okay, so I will place them again inside of this. Just a second. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to align them in the center. I will decrease the size of this to 14. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the name of the author and also I can give a CTA for this particular I will decrease the size of this CTA, and I will be using this tertiary CTA for this one, like this one. Okay, we'll change the font to Satoshi. You can also add the name or date, or sorry, you can add the date at the top, like it's 12 November 2023, like this. Change the size a bit. You can add different information if you want, and decrease the opacity of any not very important text. Now I will add this card here, and I will bring it to back, send to back, like this. Now I will add more cards here. For that, just a second. Okay, like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the illustration for this second one. Okay, for that I will take the illustration from here. You can download these illustrations from free pick. I will add the description I will add the link in the description. Okay. Now I will add the title for this particular article, like self-care for mental health. So that's how I have created this home page. It's very minimal. I haven't added many colors to it because I want to keep my design minimal and attractive. And for more emphasis, I can do one more thing here. I will just add the background color for this, and I will use the pink color for that, and decrease the opacity to something 20. Sorry, just a second. I will add the shape first of all. I advise you to do it on the shape, not on the frame, because then it will make your design translucent. Okay, now I will add the color to this, which is pink. Now I will decrease the opacity to something 40, and I will right click on it and click on send to back. Okay, and for more, if you want to decrease more of it, then you can do it like this. And also you can remove the stroke from the cards because now I have changed the color of the background, and now I can change this color as well, which is pink. This is fine, I guess. We'll decrease the opacity of this to 50%. So that's how you can create the home page of any app. If you want to make it minimal, you can use light colors, pastel colors that work really well when you are creating any minimal design that I have created here. Also, just a second, I will add some color to this as well. Pastel color is fine because mostly I use pastel colors on my design because it really make your design clean and minimal and beautiful, and users really like such kind of designs. Okay, and try to make it accessible and also easy to use, even when you are creating any app concept not for a real world user. Also, always emphasize on the usability and accessibility whenever you are creating any design, because it really make your design really, it will really make your designs very attractive and also easy to use if you want to publish it in the future. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add the heading font and subtext font for this particular onboarding screen, and then we are done. We have created this these two screens, and I'm doing it after so many days. I haven't created any design for like 2-3 months, and I know it's bad. So that's why I have decided to create more videos like this for you in the future. So if you like this video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and also hit that like button, and also you can add your suggestion in the comment section, like on what design concept do you want me to create the video on, so it will be easier for me to create the videos in the future. And if you like this video, please give the thumbs up, and also do not forget to subscribe to my channel for more such videos and hit that like button, and do not forget to follow me on Instagram and LinkedIn. Link is in the description, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye bye.